Good evening, this is Brownson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Friday, November 5th. This will be my wide receiver spikes and yikes. As you can see, I'm filming it in the normal location, and I'm doing it on Friday. Instead of yesterday, it was a busy day. I did end up getting tires. Ended up spending a lot of money. Good news and bad news about that, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video. The good news is they gave me pretty much an unlimited credit limit thanks to my income. And so, it was my old account with Les Schwab. The reason I went to Les Schwab is because I had an account and because I wanted to build up my credit because my credit's not super great. It was good enough to get me. It's good enough to get me an unlimited credit limit. So that's the good news. But the bad news is I had to put a third down. So they gave me 3 different quotes with 3 different sets of tires, I don't. It's just a bad week for me. I don't really have a whole lot of money because I'm, got a vacation coming up this weekend. I had to, pay my rent just a couple days ago, and one of the hotels of the 2 that I'm staying in is they charged me. I don't know why they charged me already, but I've noticed as I've been traveling a lot this year that the nicer hotels, like anything 3-star or above, they always charge your account, the credit card on file, before you get there to make sure that you actually have the funds, and that it's an active credit card. Usually it's not as much as they charged me on this one, so I'm a little curious why they charged it and why they charged it so early, and if they're going to if they plan on giving it back to me, or if it's like a deposit, and I'll get it when I check out. I don't know, but because of that unexpected thing, I'm shorter on funds, and then so the tires, putting the third down on the tires, pretty much wiped me out until Thursday. Luckily, Thursday, Friday, I'll get checks Thursday and Friday, 2 checks, so I'll be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm doing fine financially. I'm just not, this week I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and not real fond of it. I remember those days and how I hated them, and but I got a little bit of money. Hopefully, I don't spend a whole lot of money when I'm working, anyways. So it's just mostly that my days off when I spend money. So I think I'll be okay. I haven't been this low on funds in quite some time. It's unsettling, and so wide receivers, spikes and yikes. Oh, I was talking about so after I got tires, I did go see my parents, and it was nice. It's like I never really enjoyed my parents' company much when I was younger because they were always so grouchy and negative, and they just never really felt like, I guess I'm a person who's big on vibes, and I just never got the vibe from my parents that they liked me or wanted me around. It just never happened. But now, I feel welcome there. I feel wanted when I'm around them. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm not around nearly as much as I used to be, and the fact that I moved away. Even though I didn't move super far away yet, I am considering that. I'm just 2 hours up the freeway from them. It's still it's a distance because they don't come see me, and I don't really go see them much because I haven't had a car for a long time. But it's nice that that my parents and I are on much better terms these days as we've all aged, and so it's nice to see them when I do see them. And I saw my brother and my nephew and my niece, and found out that they're having another kid. So my brother's gonna have 3 kids, and even though my relationship with my brother is complicated, and we don't really have a whole lot in common, we don't really get along. I do love him. He is my brother. He's one of the few people in my life I know will have my back always, and I'm happy that he is having a normal life, the normal life that I don't really have. I'm glad that he was able to get back with the girl that he's with, because I know that he loved her and all that. So I'm glad they're working that out. Happy for him, and I'll be excited to have another niece or nephew in the near future. Wow. I've been emotional today because I also got into a confrontation with, asking things that are normal, things that should be normal for me aren't ever normal, because I'm probably on the spectrum or something, and I have trouble. I've always had trouble approaching women, asking women out. It's a big part of why I suck at dating. I'm terrible at dating. But when I do, it's 95% rejections, which I think is probably normal for guys. But I think it takes a lot more build up and psych up for me to make that approach. Then some guys are just confident. Some guys just don't care. Some guys they'll just go for it right away. I'm the kind of person I need build up. I need time. I need to get a comfort level with the person to ask them. That's why it has to be. It's always someone I know. It's always like a coworker or someone I see frequently. So I did ask this girl out, and it took a lot for me to do that. It's hard for me. It's just hard for me to do that. It's hard for me to ask women out. Hard for me to make an approach. And I asked her, I directly asked her if she had a boyfriend or husband. Usually that's like a dead giveaway that someone's interested, right? But she told me no. Okay, and I was getting vibes from this girl. I thought she was into me. Turns out she was not. She rejected me. Whatever. I'm used to it. I'll move on. I'll find someone else to reject me in a couple of weeks. The cycle. I'll find someone else I think might be interested in someone I'm interested in. I'll finally ask them out, and they'll turn me down. Whatever. Constant cycle in my life. But this girl, that wasn't the end of it. Her just telling me no, that wasn't enough. Now her little douche canoe boyfriend had to approach me and tell me that I'm the man that she's with. Stay away from her. Blah blah blah. Whatever. So this will happen to work because it's a coworker, and they both apparently work together in the same restaurant, which I think is against company policy. So I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna go to HR with it, but so I'm a little unsettled. I'm a little angry about that. But you guys didn't tune in for that. This is 8 minutes of me rambling. Let's get to my spikes and Yikes real quick at wide receiver. So again, that's why I didn't film yesterday. I was busy yesterday. By the time I got to my parents' house, it was kind of late. I was visiting, I didn't have any time to go film anywhere at a nice location. There's really not a whole lot of. I mean, it's nice country, but it's just like there's no park or anything close by where I could go film and on location. So I didn't. I'm just gonna do it here in my room. But my wide receiver Yikes 5. I got 5 Yikes, 5 spikes. My Yikes, Deebo Samuel at 3 for the week. I know Deebo Samuel's having an awesome year, and I did kind of predict this. If you guys will remember from the preseason, I predicted Deebo Samuel will have a big year. But he is truly questionable. He may or may not play in this game, so he's not 100%. I don't know if he's going to have a top 5 week this week. I know I do kind of anticipate a high-scoring game in that. I do anticipate Deebo Samuel being productive and very having a voluminous day, but will he be a top 5 when he's not 100%? I'm not sold on that. 10, DJ Moore. DJ Moore, I'm a big fan of DJ Moore in redraft and in Dynasty, even though I don't really play Dynasty football. I know he's a young wide receiver 1, so he's a good guy to have. I was really high on him coming into the season. Things have taken a little bit of a downturn as Sam Darnold has been far less productive, so has DJ Moore. I don't know if DJ Moore is a wide receiver 1 right now. Maybe in pure talent, sure. But fantasy week to week here in week 9, he's not a wide receiver 1. Top 10's a little high. They actually got Mike Williams at 14. I don't know which Mike Williams is the real Mike Williams. I was really excited from what I was seeing from Mike Williams early on in the year, but he's kind of tailed off. He's kind of become the old Mike Williams again. And rumors are that Justin Herbert is hurt. He hurt himself in week 3, so that could be part of the reason why Mike Williams is not seeing the kind of production that we kind of, got spoiled by early on in the year. You're still playing with house money with Mike Williams. Still a good flex play, but having him as a top 20 wide receiver, I'm not sure. We're still trying to figure out which Mike Williams is the real Mike Williams this year. And lastly, DeAndre Hopkins at 21. You guys have probably noticed this, but I'm gonna have to publicly say this: DeAndre Hopkins has been terrible this year. If you haven't noticed, if it weren't for his touchdowns, which he has gotten quite a few in a short amount of games, luckily for that, he's still not even he's still barely a flex play even with those touchdowns. Imagine if he didn't score those touchdowns. Look at his targets, look at his catches, his yards. It's just not there this year. I don't know what's going on, but until further notice, I don't know if I'd be playing DeAndre Hopkins. I know it's hard to say, hard to do, hard to bench him, but it's what needs to be done. For my spikes at wide receiver, guys outside the top 20 who I think could play their way into the top 20, starting with Jalen Waddle at 22. I think there's no Will Fuller. Still no Will Fuller. No Devante Parker again, which, if I have time, I want to talk about Devante Parker real quick because I'm getting real pissed off. I'm getting real tired of him. But no Devante Parker, no Will Fuller. Bad defense means Jalen Waddle is going to see a lot of work. I love Jalen Waddle this week. Emmanuel Sanders at 26. Definitely, he gave us a goose egg last week, so yeah, he definitely needs to take a tumble down the rankings, but I think 26 is still low. 26 means you're maybe, probably not flexing him or starting him. I think you still need to start Emmanuel Sanders. I think what we saw last week was the anomaly. I think what we've been seeing the rest of the year is the standard, is the floor. Play Emmanuel Sanders with confidence. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have 5 each, I have 4 each. Marvin Jones at 35 versus Buffalo. I understand that he's going to see a lot of Trey Davis White, who's one of the better corners in football. I understand Jacksonville's going to be far behind, but that just means more opportunities, more throws, more targets for Marvin Jones. I think Marvin Jones is going to have a flex-worthy week this week. So 35 is a little low. And lastly, Rashad Bateman at 45 versus the Vikings. And look, I'll be the first to tell you, my Vikings defense is terrible. My secondary, most especially. Rashad Bateman, he's a Minnesota. He went to school in Minnesota. He's gonna want to stick it to the Vikings because the Vikings passed on him in the draft. I think he wanted to be picked by them, even though a path to playing time may not have been there for him, and he would have, if we didn't really need Rashad Bateman, I think he wanted to get picked by the Vikings. I think he wants to stick it to us. I think he wants to prove himself. I think that the Ravens want to showcase him as and prove, Lamar Jackson wants to prove people wrong about him. He wants to show that he can throw, his offense. He can throw, that he can be a quarterback. He wants to prove to people that his weapons are good, that he can, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Lamar Jackson's got a lot. He's trying to stick it to all of us doubters who hated on him too. He's done a pretty good job so far this year. I really like Rashad Bateman in the rest of the season. I think Rashad Bateman is somebody we all need to be picking up on waivers if we have a bench spot. I think he's really going to take off. He could be a league winner for us. And I think that he's going to have a good day against the Vikings. I don't know if I'd quite flex him yet, but I got him probably in my top 30, which means I'm considering flexing him this week. 45 is awfully low. And real quickly, just one more about Devante Parker. This guy, man, his whole career, he's just been injury. He gets hurt. He looks good 1 year, and then I say, like his first 3 years, I was like, this guy's a bust. I'm never touching him in fantasy. He goes out, has a good year. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll consider drafting Devante Parker if he falls to me at the right spot. So the next year I get Devante Parker in a couple of leagues. He completely sucks ass again, gets hurt. I drop him. I say never, ever again am I drafting Devante Parker. Okay, so I never draft Devante Parker, but he's been on waivers several times this year because he keeps getting hurt. He keeps coming back, and when he plays, he's playing really well, but he just keeps getting hurt. So I keep picking him up on waivers because I need wide receiver help, thinking, Devante Parker, house money, he's going to play well for me off waivers this week. I pick him up, expecting or anticipating that I'm going to start Devante Parker, and then I keep getting these damn alerts on my phone. Devante Parker is out, or doubtful, questionable, blah, blah, blah. Now he's on IR. Now I'm saying never, ever again am I ever going to pick up Devante Parker on waivers. I'm never going to draft him, and now I'm never going to pick him up on waivers again. This is like the third time this year where I've been relying on Devante Parker because I'm that desperate at wide receiver, and the third time I've been screwed because he can't stay healthy. So that's my bit. That's my spiel on Devante Parker. I'm going to end this video and upload it now. I'll get to my running backs. It's going to have to be tonight sometime, but I'm going to go find a distraction because I am just, I'm still angry and I can't stop thinking about this situation, this shit show. Distraction, I'm probably not going to be able to find a distraction, but I'm going to go attempt to find one. So, peace, love, and not so fries. Thank you for watching.